Hello, my name is Keeley. I'm a Cuddle Therapist. And I'm also newly a CEO. I'm the CEO of Cuddlist, which is a training platform that helps educate and train people in this modality. In addition to my client work, I am pretty big on advocating for this type of modality, this type of therapeutic modality. I travel to do speaking gigs to help raise awareness, raise partnership and collaboration with psychotherapists, with educators, with other clinicians, and just in general. I want to make a video today talking a little bit about a struggle and just sharing maybe a little bit more of a glimpse or a snapshot into other parts of my life. I started out in this doing client work, doing one-on-one and group client work. That kind of work is so core to what I feel like is my life purpose. It's what made me fall in love with this world and career and helped me realize one of my missions in life is bringing this kind of education, this kind of therapeutic experience. It's creating the world I want. It's creating the world that we all deserve. I know it sounds really like, oh my God, dramatic. But I think that everyone can kind of tap into that deeper thing at some points or with certain things. And this is mine. This is my way to tap into the dream I have for the kind of world I want to live in. And the fact that I get to live it every day, I don't know if I could be more grateful for that, and I don't know if I could feel more fulfilled or satisfied or just so immensely honored that I get to do that. I say all that because I'm navigating something very human and silly, just like, time management stuff. That's a common thing. That's not unique to me or my circumstance, but the thing I want to talk about, and I'm kind of figuring it out. I've not planned or script this video, so I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. If you're bearing with me, then I appreciate you. Thank you. The individual working with my clients are incredible. My clients are amazing. The fact that they let me support their lives, their incredible lives, is such an honor and so truly beautiful. And I love that work. I do. I love that work. And, I took on this role. I bought this company and took on this role as the CEO of Cuddlist because I'm one person. And if I filled every hour of my day with nothing, like if I stopped eating, stopped sleeping, stopped doing everything, right? If I just filled every single waking hour of of my life helping individual people or even in small groups, right? I would never reach enough. I wouldn't make the world different. I would make those people's world, I would help those people's worlds be different. And that has ripple effects, of course, right? But like the like soul mission for me is making the whole world, people I don't touch, literally and figuratively, making their lives better, making the world better in a way that has nothing to do with me. Right? The individual work is so delightful because I reap the rewards there too. Like I get the oxytocin high, I get the fulfillment and satisfaction. But that's a me thing, right? I want the experiences that those people are having if I have nothing to do with it. I want everyone to have those experiences, whether I have anything to do with it or not. And educating and training people like Cuddlist does to do this work really, really well does that. And right now, that company, it's a company, we're small. I say company, and sometimes I think people get the impression it's like, oh, this big thing, right? Like, oh, a company. And I'm like, yeah, but there's like 7 of us. and it was 3 of us before a couple months ago. I brought on 5 more people, right? Like, we're small, and we're doing our absolute level best to make this bigger and touch more people's lives and change the world. That's like dramatic and oh, it's so grandiose, right? But like everyone can change the world in a little way, and I want it to be as big as I possibly can. But what that means, and this is the time management thing, this is the push-pull thing that I mentioned earlier in this video, is like with all of that work, so much work to run this company and really change the company from the inside and out. It was such a beautiful thing. I had the honor and the privilege of purchasing and being involved with since the start of it. It's such a beautiful mission, and the founders brought it to such an impactful place. And one of my purpose, the things that maybe the divine reason. If that word doesn't resonate with you, then ignore it. But I was brought into that, or I found it, or manifested it, whatever. Is because I see an even bigger vision for it. I see a way it can be, and I want to take it to that place where it can be just even so like shoot for the stars bigger, and even better. Even though what I walked into was still such a beautiful and incredible thing, right? So that takes just so much work, and what all that means is that I'm feeling like guilty in moments, and I'm feeling a little bit of loss maybe in moments because it's impacting my client work. I used to be able to respond to emails and things about a day, maybe 3 days, very worst case scenario, like a week. Like that's if I, dire circumstances. And now my response time for my clients, the people who I am so invested and love dearly, it takes me forever to get back to them. There's a part of me that really hates that. Just my response times are slower. It's really helpful when I have regular set schedule things because I don't have to, the maintenance of that. It's like, oh, I have my weekly clients or my monthly or bi-weekly clients, whatever it is. That's helpful because I know there's like that consistency there. So, but not everyone, that's not the pattern for everyone. And so some of my individual clients or my smaller group work, the amount of effort and just like logistics stuff it takes. I'm always able to be present for the work when I'm in it, right? Like when I'm there with someone, when I'm there in a session, every single part, I'm 100% there. Every single part of me is there. But outside of that, I'm just torn in what feels like a million directions, and they all feel like great directions. Like it's not it's not a woe is me moment, it's an abundance moment. So like, what the heck am I complaining for? I'm not really complaining. I'm just, navigating a thing that's hard. It's hard. Because I want that's also the thing that feeds me a little bit more, right? Like I know that the Cuddlist work, that company, I cognitively know that it is what can make the bigger impact in the world, what can do the most good. And I want to be of service to the thing that will do the most good as much as I possibly can. And selfishly, not really that's a little bit dramatic of a term, but like the one-on-one client work is the stuff that feels so good to do, right? I get to have that connection too when I'm connecting with folks. I get to be the support, and I love being support for people. And so I get that direct feedback I get the dopamine hit, I get I get the surge of oxytocin and excitement when I do that work. And so I miss it. I miss it when I'm not in it as often. And so my goal for 2024 for sure is to put in all this effort into Cuddlist and hire on and put people in the right places and to create the right systems and procedures that are automated as much as possible. Like, you don't need to know the ins and outs of a business, right? It's not why you're here. But it's hopefully to get it to a place that is less hands-on for me, that I can still be of service to that bigger mission and goal, but it doesn't take as many hours out of my day, so I can go back to dedicating that energy that I'm saving, the time I'm saving, the just simply emails that I'm sending out are going towards my individual clients and not the business stuff as much as possible. So all that to say, I guess, just I got a peek behind the curtain of what's going on. And if you are a client of mine and you're watching this, if right now I am taking longer to respond, it does not mean I care about you any less. If right now it feels a little harder to schedule things with me, it's not because I am not motivated to work with you. That is where my heart is. That's what I want to be doing. And if I could take all of the burden of scheduling off of your hands and put it entirely to mine, so it's the easiest process in the world for you, I would. I don't have capacity for that right now, so I'm just gonna honor and acknowledge the truth of that. And so it feels a little selfish or greedy or indulgent or something like that to say this, but a thing that I need from my clients right now is, if they want, only if they want, I do have to rely on you a bit more for the proactive. Like, if I haven't responded, nudge me. An email, send me another email, send me a text. If I haven't scheduled something, nudge me or get back with me. It is not a matter of me not wanting to. It's a matter of very limited spoons, and that is not at all your responsibility to take on at all in any way. I really want you to hear that. It is no one else's responsibility to take on. And if it's something that you have a lot of capacity for and are still, getting as much out of our sessions as you've gotten in the past, then that's the state of things right now. I'm looking forward to a time when I can shift that back to a place that actually feels more right and aligned for how I want to be allocating my energy and time. But it's not going to be in the next week. It's going to be in the next several months. So yeah, the biggest takeaway that I hope people hear from this is that if you want to be my client, if you are my client, and if you've thought at all in the past 6 months, like my slowness to respond, to get back to an email, my challenge with scheduling, if you ever thought that was any indication that I didn't wholeheartedly want to work with you, please dispel that from your mind immediately. It is not the case. There's not a single person I can say that for. Not a single case where that is true. It's purely a measure of my capacity to answer emails. As annoying that is. But when you get several hundred emails a day in multiple different inboxes, right? That I have to sift through, just that task, not because of who it comes from, but just because it is a repetitive task, right? And I light up every time I read one of my clients' emails asking for another session or checking in or giving me feedback on how they're doing or checking on how they're doing. I absolutely light up. Those are the high points of my day. That's what gives me the little dopamine rush to get through the other millions of emails that are, way less engaging and enjoyable. So I'll also share a big thank you to being the high point, to being my high point of my days. Thank you for that. I want so badly to show that gratitude and how much I appreciate it to you by getting back to you as fast as I can. That's how I want to show that gratitude, and I don't have capacity for it. So that's that. Human asking for patience and kindness and love, and for celebration. Also asking to celebrate with me the really cool way in which I see the world shifting for you, for all of us, and the really cool way that this break brings so much more possibility for the kind of connected, compassionate, caring, loving, beautiful, authentic world that we get to see a glimpse of right now, that I hope more people get to experience as we go on. All right. Have a beautiful day. Feel free to like and follow or whatever feels good. Bye, y'all.